Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. Got out and got over to an off ramp. Now, this is a testament to, I think that's how you would word it, a testament, or just proof that by securing your load very tight saved my ass on this. Well, you hear that? There is no, I mean, you can play a guitar string on those things, on these puppies. Anyways, the guys over at All Pro Towing and Recovery in Fargo, North Dakota, minus my truck being pretty fucking dirty. Anyways, they said, man, if you, and I am patting myself on the back on this one. They said, if you wouldn't have if your load would not have been as tight as it was, I was on such an angle, my drive tires were off the concrete on the other side. And the top, she's top heavy. He said, by me putting those boards underneath there, he said, believe it or not, that did help. He said, but what really helped you, Kurt, was the tightness of your securement. That makes me feel really well, really good. So, clean my lens. Trucking's gonna fucking kill me. Trucking is absolutely gonna kill me, I swear. I'll tell you, man, I just and I'm owning it. It's my fault. Fucking low coolant on the thing, Cabreras. Again, they're going to be the thorn in my side, I think, for many years to come. I hope not. But they didn't, up on my reservoir, there's a spring clamp, like a hose clamp. They never put that on in the shaking of the truck. The hose ripped. And that's why I was losing coolant, because it was the return line. And then where my water pump is, that I'm not getting over, guys. Sorry, I'm right on the edge. I will never do, well, like Jason Gilbert says, never say never and don't say always and never, right? But by the water pump where the hose comes down, there's a hose clamp there. Not tightened down. Not tightened down. I had coolant just coming from there. Finally, the hose wiggled loose, and I had fucking coolant coming from there. I'm owning it because it was my choice to pull over where I pulled over. I mean, low coolant, I mean, I was down 3 gallons. 3 gallons. Actually, I think 2 gallons is the warning. But I kind of drove for a little bit thinking, but then all of a sudden I was just like, it just seems like it's pretty serious. But I'm owning it. I chose to do that. The E-lane, they're not wide, and this tow company, All Pro Towing, they said they did 7 trucks just today from guys pulling over and sinking. But the guy said, you know, you did the right, and I am patting myself on the back on this one. I truly am. When I put my 4-ways on, I went to go over to the right lane, to the E lane, and I was like, man, this thing is not wide, man. I'm gonna be like right on the white, you know, right on that white line. Right on that white line is where I would have been on the interstate, obviously. And you know, these guys, they don't get over these semis and shit like that, and cars. Either one, someone's going to get hurt or killed, or I'm going to get hurt or killed. I'm okay if I get hurt or killed. My wife wouldn't be, but I would be okay with it, better than hurting or killing somebody else. So that's why I got so far over. It looked dry. It looked like that right there. It looked dry. But the guy said, the guy from All Pro, the owner came out, so they came. So when I went in, the truck just immediately started not sliding but tilting. I'm like, oh my god. So I tried to get myself out. She just whoop. I mean, you guys saw the video. I mean, she just sunk quick. And I was trying to get out. I wasn't having it. So immediately if that happens, I mean, I noticed right away she was on a lean. I'm like, holy shit, I'm in trouble. If she leaned that quick and went down that quick, I'm like, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble. And so I immediately Googled tow recovery companies, Fargo, North Dakota, because I'm just west of Fargo. And so a number popped up. I called the place, Red Top Towing or something like that. Gal answered. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm really in a jam here. I'm at mile marker 340. I really need y'all to come out. And I said, I'm in a lot of trouble here. And she's like, I said, I'm just west of Fargo. She goes, oh, we're not in Fargo. She said, and this lady just keeps talking and talking and talking. I'm like, and I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to be like, shut up. But I was just like, I said, well, she goes, here, I'll give you some numbers. And she goes, we're like 70, 80 miles away. I hate when Google does that shit. You ask for Fargo, North Dakota, and they give you a shit ton outside the area. It's like, no, bitch, I want Fargo, North Dakota. Anyways, I said, ma'am, I can't. I gotta try doing something here. I said, she goes, I'll call some places. So I'm like, thank you. So I go ahead, get in there. I grab some dunnage. I release my straps from my 4x4 dunnage. I start propping them up on that side to get up underneath the piping. And so just to kind of, and if that thing would have went, it would have drove those 4x4s in the ground like nails in wood, I'm sure. But what else am I going to do? I dropped my airbags right away. I tried to get out, but the more you're spinning, like I said with the snow, the higher RPMs, you're just getting yourself into further and further deeper. And that's just going to make it tip, and sooner or later. So anyways, they came out pretty quick. Well, so the lady, after she calls me back, so nice. She's like, that place, my bosses came in and they're going to juice you. They're going to charge you $100,000 for that. I'm like, ooh, boy, excuse me. I'm like, ooh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, Daddy. So then I told her, she said, just call them back and tell them that you found somebody else and we'll find you another company. I'm like, ma'am, I really appreciate it. I said, but I don't think I have time on this. I literally don't have time on this. I said, thank you so much, though. I really appreciate it, but thank you. So she's like, okay, she goes, that's fine. I'm like, thank you, though. I really appreciate it. So another semi comes up. He's empty, Mexican dude, Diego. And this is nice. This is exactly what I'm talking about with drivers helping drivers. He goes by me. He's way up pretty far up front, about 100 yards. And he's got his four ways, and I'm looking. He's not getting out of the truck, and I'm like, well, maybe he's backing up, so I can start walking towards him. Sure enough, so I walk around. He's like, yeah, man, you're in some trouble there. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, let's try to pull you out. I said, man, I don't know, man. I said, she's pretty far down in there, and I'm thinking fucking bumper all over again. I'm like, oh my god. So he backs up. We grab a chain, and I said, listen. I said, they're already on their way, man. He goes, well, let's try it. I'm like, all right. So I text the company. I said, hey, a driver's here. We're gonna put a chain on. And they're like, well, you still got to pay us regardless. I'm like, I understand that. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna pay you. I didn't respond to the text. I didn't have all that kind of time. I just threw the phone on and the headset on the fucking floor. I said, I got to get to work. So we go ahead. We hook up his chain. We go into his pockets though, not onto his bumper. And we go to channel 10. Oh, actually, I got to switch my CB back to 19. He says, you got a CB? I said, yeah. He goes, go to channel 10. So I said, okay. So we go to channel 10. He says, oh, so we bring up the slack, and he starts going, and I could just see his fucking pocket starting to come. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, stop. And the fucking chain broke his back pocket. But it didn't break the other one. It just popped it out. And I'm like, oh my God. This is the bumper all over again, except I'm the fucking shitbag. Anyway, so I'm like, man, I'm so sorry, man. I said, here, let me give you some money for it. He goes, no, don't worry about it, man. I said, let me buy you lunch at least, man. I said, I got to give you something, man. So he's like, no. I said, no, please. So I gave him $25 for lunch. I said, buy yourself some dinner, man. I said, I really appreciate it. Not everybody does it. I said, he goes, wow, that's really nice. Thank you. I said, are you shitting me? It's nice that you did what you did. So as soon as the chain breaks, they come down the highway. They go over the overpass and come, and Superman and his guys to the rescue. So they had a big wrecker, and then they had a small, like a tow truck, as like a spotting car or something like that. So they had to close down the whole right lane of track. Well, first, no, the owner says, because the owner comes out too. So they got the wrecker, another decent sized tow truck, and the owner in his SUV. He's looking at it. He goes, man, he said, we really got to get to work on this. He said, and the one guy said, we can just pull him out. He goes, no, man. He said, I really think that trailer's going to tip. And he was, like I said, he was the one that told me, thank God you did. Well, not thank God. He said, you know, you did really well on that. He said, if the shit would have been loose, you would have tipped over. So thank you. But so then he had to run back to his shop and grab another wrecker. I'm like, oh my God, I could just see the dollar signs. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I'm like, oh my God. Comes back out. The guy says, hey, you know, you can file an insurance claim on this. I'm like, really? I never had this done before. So I'm on the horn with the insurance company. You know, I got a special tow package with Great West Mutual. There's only them and another company, I think, in the whole nation that do a towing package. You pay an extra $20 a month or something, and you're covered up to like $5,000 for a tow with a $250 deductible. All this, so it's really nice. So I'm on the horn with the insurance company. Adjuster's going to call me Monday, so I think I can actually get part of this back. But a huge learning lesson, man. Huge learning lesson. I've never gone into the dirt like that. I've always been on a, you know, I mean, fuck. Anyways, you know, so I'm like, oh my God. So they just pulled the trailer over. They pulled the truck up, and they pulled the trailer over, pulled the truck up. So they got the whole right lane blocked off. They were literally done like 10 minutes. And I mean, it took them a while. It took them longer to go get the other wreckers, so on and so on. But literally, the actual work was like 10 minutes. So anyway, they said, here, follow me over to the off ramp. And I just gotten off the phone with the insurance company, and I told the guy, so well, I said we'll go ahead and take care of it. He goes, we're only going to do $600 a truck. And I was like, I mean, not only, but I'm thinking $2,000. Is what I'm thinking. I'm literally thinking this is going to be $2,000 minimum, and it was $1,200, and not like it's chump change. It ain't like it's chump change. $1,200, that's a lot of money, but it could have been a lot more money if this truck would have tipped. So I'm on the phone with this guy Shane from the insurance company, and he's like, you know, he said, you're the first guy in all my years that literally has called me before the truck tipped over. He said, we get the call after the trucks are laying on their side. I'm like, he's like, wow. And as I'm talking to him, he's like, so are they going to come out soon? I said, no, they're already here. They're already hooked up to my truck and trailer. And he's like, really? I said, yeah. He's like, and I said, they're literally pulling me out right now. So he's like, so you're up and running? Everything's good? I said, yeah. Just got a bunch of mud hitting on my shit. But other than that, I mean, I don't see. Oh, and another thing, they said these other trucks they were pulling out, their inside drive tire was blowing out when they would get it because it was hitting the concrete. Their other drive tire, their inside drives were literally blowing off, like blowing out because of all the weight. They were just hitting the side. So I'm wondering. So anyway, so when I pay the bill, I'm all jacked up, man. My adrenaline's fucking going like crazy. But when I told the guy, I'm like, man, I said, I'm not trying to play light of $1,200. I said, but I thought it was going to be a lot more money. He said, well, let me tell you something. He said, this owner is a vet, first off. He said, you notice you're a vet. He said, and second off, you're an owner-operator. If you were like a big company, Swift or JB Hunt, anything, he said, it'd have been like $4,000. I right hand to God. He said, it would have been like $4,000. I'm like, for that? He said, swear to God. He said, this owner, he takes care of owner-operators, so. Anyway, so I gave the guys $40. I said, here, you know, make sure you buy beers or pizza or whatever, you know, for the guys at the shop and the owner or whatever, so. But I thought I was in a lot of trouble, man. And I was in a lot of trouble. I was in a shit ton of trouble. I mean, let's see, I had my shit unplugged. So literally I've been here now, this video's 15 minutes, plus I had to put away all my dunnage, restrap my dunnage, clean off a bunch of the mud, blah, 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 and with the guy, so I've been here probably a good, oh shit, where's my, oh shit, did I lose my damn watch? I like my watches a gazillion dollars, but I like my watches. So I've probably been here 45 minutes-ish. Look at my ELD. 2 hours. So I've maybe been here, yeah, probably 40 minutes, 40 minutes. So those guys did all that and came in that quick of a time. And he's like, man, he said, if you wouldn't have called us right away, you would have been laying on your side. I'm like, man, I'm blessed, man. I mean, as bad as it is and was, fuck, man. You have no idea how grateful I am. And with that other owner-operator, Diego, he was a nice dude. I feel bad. He said he knows how to weld. He said, I can weld that. I'm like, well, like I said, he wouldn't take money. I told him, I said, here, buy yourself some dinner, man. Oh, man. What a few couple months, man. Crazy. So anyways, I just want to do a video on it. I mean, the shit that happens in trucking, man. The shit that happens to Kurt Sabella at the end of the day. But anyways, like I said, make sure your loads are tight, man. And like I said, I do practice what I preach on thumping my tires and securing my loads. So anyways, I'm done gabbing. I gotta get going. I got some time to make up. So man, my fucking heart's just pumping, man. So that was a tight situation, man. I've never been in a situation like that. I mean, you know, in the military, shit like that, but you know, but not. I mean, not in the truck. I mean, crazy. So, anyways, please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.